بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. With the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we finish Surat Al-Mulk, and I advise all the sisters and myself to recite this surah and to try to memorize it totally, because it has a lot of virtues and benefit, as we mentioned and as came in the hadith by the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So this is very important. If you're not going to memorize it or it's difficult on you, just recite it every day, every night before you sleep. Recite Surat Al-Mulk. Today, inshallah, we'll start Surat Alqalam. Alqalam. Surat Alqalam. Here, the meaning of Alqalam is the pen. So the pen here. According to what came in the tafsir, and regarding the definition of al-qalam, is the pen. What type of pen or what pen Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us about? This is what we're going to know in the tafsir of the first ayah. Let's start with first ayah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Noon. Noon is one of the separate letters that few surahs of the Quran started with those separate letters, or in Arabic it's called al-huruf al-muqatta'a. Al-huruf al-muqatta'a, or those separate letters, the scholars try to find an explanation for them. A lot of explanations being mentioned in the tafsir, but the most spreadable and acceptable one is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using the Arabic letters at the beginning of the surahs as a challenging way for those who being very skillful in the Arabic language at that time, in the time of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, where Mecca at that time a lot of poets present at that time, and they have even a market for the poetry. It's called the Uqaz, Souk Uqaz. This market, it's held annually in order to every poet will come with his poem and start to show his skills in the linguistic techniques in Arabic language, and the best poem will have a reward or a prize. So the Quran came with the same letters that they used in their poems and in their way of writing and speaking. And at the same time, they couldn't bring just one ayah or make just one ayah like the Quran. And this is one of the challenging methods that the Quran is challenging those people who thought themselves they are the masters of the Arabic language. So there is other explanation, but this is, as I mentioned, is the most spreadable one for the separate letters. And actually, al-huruf al-muqatta'a, they gathered all of them together, and it made like a sentence. And this sentence is it's mentioning as, or written as, nassun qati' muhkam lahu sir, which means it is a statement which is very a sharp statement or sharp statement and well fitted, and it has a secret. This is the translation of the sentence when they gathered these letters together in order to make a sentence. but also we cannot know exactly what are the tafsir or what is the tafsir of such separate letters, and this is considered with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only knows the exact meaning of these letters, and this is from the unseen, something unseen. All the scholars couldn't find a exact explanation for that. So we're going to have it as being and believe in it as being mentioned in the Quran and as a part of the Quran and part of the surahs, and the exact meaning we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is knowing the exact meaning. We'll just take the, as we mentioned, the most famous or spreadable tafsir about it, that it is for challenging the Arab people. Then we have وَالْقَلَمِ وَمَا يَسْطُرُونَ, where we mentioned before that in Juz 30, when we talk a lot of surahs starting with the wa, and at the time like وَالسَّمَاءُ وَالطَّارِقِ وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا and all such surahs, we mentioned that time that the waw is the letter of qasam, or the letter of an oath, that Allah make an oath with something, so start with the letter of oath. So the letter of oath is the waw, and the qalam, the thing that Allah made an oath with, which is the pen, and وَمَا يَسْطُرُونَ, what they are writing. Here, Al-Qalam in the tafsir came by the two meanings, that Al-Qalam that we are using, or the people who are using at that time in the Arab Peninsula, and what they are writing, and it gives us the idea about the reading and writing of the language itself. And also another meaning of Al-Qalam is the qalam that been created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Hadith, in the Hadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he mentioned the first thing created by Allah was Al-Qalam. And he told him to write the decree of all the creatures from the beginning of the creation till what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forever. So Al-Qalam here is a creature. Allah created Al-Qalam. That Qalam who wrote the decree of all the creation, he wrote it in the preserved tablet, or Al-Lawh al-Mahfuz. These all unseen for us. But what we learn from the Sunnah, that Al-Qalam is a creature. Allah created something called the Al-Qalam, how it looks like, and Allah talked to Al-Qalam and told him to write the decree of the creation. So here it is a different qalam that we know. It's something from the unseen, and we've been told by that by the Prophet ﷺ. So this is another tafsir of the Al-Qalam, which is the first thing. When I ask you what is the first thing created by Allah, you will tell me the Al-Qalam, or the pen. Where Al-Qalam wrote the decree of all creations, it is in the preserved tablet, or Al-Lawh al-Mahfuz. Okay, understood up till now? طيب. So
yeah.
Wa is the letter of the oath. The Al-Qalam is the what Allah is making oath with, and then the third part of the Qasam technique or oath technique is Jawab al-Qasam. The answer of this oath is Ma anta bini'amati rabbika bimajnun. So ayah 2 is the continuation of the Qasam, of the oath. And we mentioned, for example, if I say, by Allah, I do my homework tomorrow. So by is wa, Allah, wallahi, I do my homework tomorrow, that this is Jawab al-Qasam. So Jawab al-Qasam here, ma anta bini'amati rabbika bimajnun. What does it mean? Ma anta bini'amati rabbika bimajnun means ma anta, you are not with the favor of Allah, or the favor of your Lord, is a madman. Here, what is the favor of his Lord? Allah is talking to his prophet now and telling him, you are not by the favor of your Lord, is a madman. What is the favor of his Lord, you think? Hmm.
His
What you
knowledge
think? Knowledge of what?
of Islam,
When?
of Islam, of the Quran,
Yes,
the
this is the
signs.
knowledge of the Prophet, the Quran, that been revealed on him. So Allah is telling him, the favor that Allah gave you, which is the Quran, you are not a madman by this favor. Why he's telling him you are not a madman? Because the disbelievers used to call the Prophet like that. They called the Prophet that he is a madman. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to his Prophet and telling him that the favor came to you by your Lord or from your Lord, which is the Quran. You are not a madman, but you will have uninterrupted reward. وَإِنَّ لَكَ لَأَجْرًا غَيْرَ مَمْنُونٍ. Here, uninterrupted reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أجرًا, reward غير ممنون, not interrupted or not stopped. وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. And you are on the great manner or great moral character. خلق is a character or moral character. عظيم, great. فستبصر ويبصرون. So you will see and they will see. Here فستبصر, you will see. ويبصرون, they will see. And they will see here refer to the disbelievers. بأيكم المفتون. Who is the afflicted? Al-maftun means afflicted by devil. What does it mean, afflicted by devil? The Arab at that time, they believed that when someone being controlled or directed by jinn or shaitan, so this is he lost his mind and he became a madman. So the ayat is telling the Prophet والسلام, that you are not a madman, you have the favor of your Lord, this great Quran, and you have an uninterrupted reward. You are in a great character, and you will see who is really the madman. You will see, and they will see, those disbelievers who called you a madman, they will see who is the madman being afflicted by devil. إن ربك هو أعلم بمن ضل عن سبيله. In ayah 7. Allah, your Lord is indeed is knowing who is lost, astray from his way or his path. And Allah most knowing of the guided ones. Here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can feel from the ayat that he's comforting his prophet. The Prophet ﷺ, he passed through hardship and a lot of suffering from the people he used to live with them more than 40 years. 40 years of his life, ﷺ, before the prophethood, he was known between the people of Mecca as As-Sadiq Al-Amin, the truth teller and the honest. And moreover, if anyone in Mecca wants to leave something precious, he will leave it in the house of the Prophet ﷺ. And during migration from Mecca to Al-Madinah, the Prophet told Ali ibn Abi Talib to return back those trustee to their people, because there's still some people are leaving precious things in his house, as because he was the truth teller and the honest. And then suddenly, this appreciation and honor by those people completely changed 180 degrees when he came with his message, alayhi salatu wasalam. When he told them that he is a messenger of Allah, and he brought them a message that is the Islam, and the Islam in order to make their life better and to make them enter Jannah. At that time, everything changed. The honest, the truth teller changed it to a madman, changed it to a magician, changed it to a liar, changed it to a soothsayer. Everything changed. Why? Because he started to tell them about justice, about equality, about not avoiding racism, to the masters and the slaves having the same rights, and as a human being. He came with a human rights, Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, in a society at that time where people are divided into masters and slaves. There is usury, there is drinking wine, there is a prostitution, there is a lot of bad attributes present. And then suddenly he came to change all these things. So here, what I want to say, that disbelievers of Mecca, they know quite well that the Prophet is a truth teller and honest. And they know quite well. They know quite well that the Quran is the word of Allah. And Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam is not a liar. But what made them deny this religion? Because it's against their benefits, against their business, against their way they used to live 40 years back. They couldn't change for the haqq, for the truth. That's why they all the time denied this message and opposed the Prophet ﷺ and start giving him these bad titles: Majnoon, Kadhib, Sahir, Kahin. So the Quran is revealed on the Prophet ﷺ to comfort him and to telling him that they will know at the day of judgment who is the real astray or who is the real guided to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And don't be upset about what they are saying. You are having the great character. You are the best of the human being, as came in the hadith. أنا خير ولد آدم سيد ولد آدم. The master of all the mankind is a prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام. And you can feel from the ayat the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to his prophet. When you're comforting someone who is having suffering and try to say to her, just you are good, you are so in the very hard time, that means that you love her. And this is what we can also feel from the ayat, the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to his prophet. Then the order come in ayah 8 and ayah 9. فَلَا تُطِعِ الْمُكَذِّبِينَ. Don't obey the deniers. Stay steadfast on your religion. Stay steadfast on your message. Don't try to negotiate on them. وَدُّوا, they would love. لَوْ تُدْهِنْ, or they wished or they loved that you softened, تُدْهِنْ, or compromise with them, فَيُدْهِنُونَ, so they would compromise with you. What does it mean, compromise? Here the ayah refers to what came in Surat Al-Kafirun, in Juz 30, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling his prophet to say that the disbelievers, I will not worship what you are worshipping, and you will not worship what I am worshipping. And this has happened when a group of disbelievers came to the prophet and told him, let us worship your God for 1 year, and then you worship our idols for another year. So Surat Al-Kafirun came very clear about that. No negotiation in your religion. If they want to believe in Allah, it's okay. They will enter Islam and become Muslim. But you don't worship at any mean their idols. There is no negotiation in the religion, and this is what we learn from such ayat. You can negotiate in anything in your life, but not on your religion. Your religion is not susceptible for any negotiation or compromising. Or I say, maybe if I didn't fast this year Ramadan, it will not make for my friends or for my job, or for I will not wear hijab because all the people around me are not wearing hijab. It's okay, but I am Muslim from inside. No negotiation in your religion. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered his messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, and we are the followers of the messenger, and we are following the orders of Allah. that you must keep steadfast on the right path, on the straight path, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you, will support you if you really shows this steadfast on the borders and on the religion of Allah. So here Allah is telling His Prophet not to obey those deniers because they wish to take you or to pull you to their side. So you can see here the warnings coming, the warnings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala coming. And in Surah Al-Isra, He's telling him that they wished that they pull you toward their side. And if you did so, you will have the punishment, double the punishment in life and double the punishment in the hereafter. There in Surah Al-Isra. So you can feel the language of love and caring with warnings. It comes both of them by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to His Prophet. And what else? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told His Prophet about other advices to do. And this is what we're going to know inshallah next lesson. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.